I'm back, guys. I am so sorry. I'm going to just give this just a few minutes. I unfortunately have missed all the comments that you left earlier. Although, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and read some of these. I did see some. I saw Archer and Ace's super chat, so I want to say thank you for that right off. And again, I'm Bonnie Barker, Bonnie Bay Crochet. This is Friday Fun, and this is take number 2. I have not had that technical problem ever, but you know, it seems like I've got to walk through all of them at some point for whatever reason. But it just seems whenever I get down on this internet system here at the house in South Carolina, I get to learn new stuff. I don't understand that, but anyway, it is what it is. But let me go ahead. I want to say hi to some of the people. I did see some of the comments. I want to say hey to Linda, Brat's mom, to Jacqueline from LA, to Kelly, to Dolores, to Wanda Gordon from Bahama, North Carolina. And these are the comments from the one I had to end. To Sandra, and let's see, Denise, and you guys are chatting with each other. I think that's fantastic. And again, Archer and Ace, thank you so much for your support. To Alana, and let's see, Love to Craft. Yeah, thank you. I mean, as soon as I went live, I knew that there was a problem. I tried fixing it beforehand. It just would not fix. So we are rebroadcasting. So anyway, let me go ahead and get back to where I need to be on the new broadcast. Let's go back to my channel. Here we go. All right, some of you are filtering back in. I'm going to give it a couple minutes to catch up, and then once I do have a song for you guys from last week. Last week I was coming off of my first cold in 2.5 years, and just to let you know, yeah, colds are just as bad as I remember them. But this one only lasted about 6 days, so I was thankful for that. We were able to nip it in the bud. But I'm so glad you guys are finding me again. Again, sorry for that glitch. I don't know why this happens. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, YouTube and this new internet system, well, it's new for the phone because I just transferred, I just traveled. I was telling you when I started the other broadcast, I just traveled yesterday down from Maryland to South Carolina again, where I'm going to be for about 2 weeks, and then I'm going to head back home before I head to New Orleans. But let me go ahead and say hey to some of you guys before I get my song going. We have Michelle. Thank you. Yes. I could have kept Michelle. I could have kept it the way it was, but it was driving me absolutely crazy to look at the comments sideways. Again, don't know what was going on. My phone is not set to do that, but for whatever reason, I don't know, the gremlins got into my phone again when I come down here. I have Sandra from Southern Cal, yay, and Love to Craft. Great to have you back again. And Harriet Cutter, so good to see you. And I am kind of flying solo today, guys, so I'm going to have to just try to run through things a little quickly. Hannah, right this very moment, is driving in the 3-car caravan. I hope I'm probably repeating myself again, but she is driving to Georgia to help one of my sons and my husband move Hudson into his new apartment and get him all situated. Very exciting time. I wish I could go with them and do that, but honestly, another day of driving with my back is probably not the best thing. So, and loading, yesterday, yeah, we drove all day yesterday, and the day before that, we spent the entire day loading a 16-foot truck. So this mama's tired. So I am more than happy just to sit with you guys and talk a little bit and catch up. I just want to say hey to some more people here. We have Tammy from Oregon, Desmita, so good to have you back in the chat. And Wanda Gordon made it back. We have Stephanie White from Jackson, Georgia. Hey, Stephanie, my guys are headed your direction, my friend. And we have Grace from Northwest Washington State, and see Jacqueline LaFridge, Jake Parker, um, she says, I don't know how long I could stay, but I have an ear infection, a very painful one. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jake. I hope you feel better, my friend. I know what ear infections are. Been through the tubes route with my kids, so I am so sorry to hear that. Maybe decongested. I don't know. Do what you can do, but get some rest, my friend. Lots of fluids. I feel like a mom here. See if we have Alana. She made it back, and Donna says happy Independence Day weekend. Yes, Donna. Thank you so much, guys. Happy 4th of July coming up. Such we have so much. As no matter what people think of our country, they see the flaws and stuff when they look at us. But I just see the freedom and the grace that has been shed upon our nation. As bad as people may think we are, people are dying, literally dying to get in here. We have such a fantastic, a place of great opportunity. Nothing on this earth is going to be perfect until that day. I mean, until we see our Lord and Savior. I mean, nothing on this side of heaven is going to ever be perfect. But I tell you what, we have. Instead of counting what's wrong, I think if we just take an inventory of what we have going for us and things to give thanks for where we live in this wonderful place. And that's not putting any other country on the face of this earth down in any way, shape, or form. It's like when it's your day, it's your opportunity to celebrate. The 4th of July is our day to celebrate the freedoms that we have and have just helped support really worldwide. But anyway, so just so thankful. Thank you for that reminder. Great day to celebrate. And Donna says, hello, Bonnie and everyone from hot Ohio. Yeah, Donna, we're getting some of the thunderstorm pop-ups now, from all this heat. Yeah, it is summer. It's July. This is what happens. Yeah, but yeah, it is hot. I remember many hot days in Ohio visiting my years ago visiting my can't even talk, my grandfather and my step grandmother in Cincinnati. No air conditioning. Wow, no shower, just a tub with a faucet. Hot summer, hot summer. And we have Jacqueline says, good morning from Los Angeles. I'm under the weather this week. Oh, I'm sorry, Jacqueline. I know recently what that feels like. I am so sorry. Everybody's making it back, yes. And Donna says, sideways makes my brain flip. Oh, it does not serve me at all, Donna. So I'll have to go back and replace the thumbnail on this once we get started instead of the fuzzy guitar picture here. But anyway, let's see. We have Sandra from the UK in our chat in Cameroon. Yeah, that is great. And Michelle M, she said, your family is awesome. Aw, it's nice to see y'all helping each other. I tell you what, I'm just so blessed. Yeah, my kids just, I love to be with each other. We have 5 and they're just a real tight unit. I think part of that is because we homeschooled and we spent a lot of time together growing up. And we have friends outside of that, of course, but my children would rather be with nobody else in the world than one another. So that's just a blessing beyond anything I imagined. So I'm just really glad because we're not going to be here forever. My husband and I are not going to be around forever, and when we're gone, we know that they will take care of each other, and that just blesses me beyond words. We have Judy in our chat, and she's asking, how's Hannah and Esther doing? I'm not sure if Esther is here today, Judy, and I know Hannah is not. She, like I said earlier, she is on her way to Georgia in a 3-vehicle caravan. So we won't be hearing from her during our chat today. And I miss her already. We have Ruth. She says, we just traveled from Colorado to Iowa. Love just sitting and knitting now. Oh, tell me about it. I love to just travel. Well, my husband drives and I sit and crochet, but my hands were on that wheel all day yesterday for 9+ hours. So my hands needed a little bit of a break. Hey, Freaky Geek. Haven't seen you in a while. It's good to have you in our chat today. And let's see, I think I've kind of caught up. We have Elizabeth in our chat and Let's see. Michelle says, watching while working on row 6 of the popcorn stitches on the throw of grace. Hey, that is cool. I enjoy doing that one. And we have Lucy's Crochet Spot. Hey, Lucy's Crochet Spot. And Kelly Hart. And then I got a ton of comments now. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a song. This is a bit of a rerun from months and months ago. So if you remember, sing along with me. And for those of you who are new to the channel and like, what in the world is she doing? Whenever people, like Archer Nace has been so generous towards us, whenever people donate to the super chat, I save that up until we hit $100. And once we hit $100, that money is donated to, see, last month it went to Rancho 3M. So the next time we get $100, it's going to be donated to Shriners Hospital for Children. Those are the two charities that are near and dear to my heart. And currently with this ongoing situation in Ukraine, I am matching it 100% with my personal funds to go to Samaritan's Purse Field Hospital in the Ukraine, helping with the situation there. So whenever we do that, I kind of come up with a song. In this case, I'm going to do an older song. I haven't had a chance to write a brand new one, but hopefully you guys will like this. This is from the Carpenters. Do you remember the Carpenters? Karen Carpenter, I thought, had one of the most beautiful women's voices for singing that ever lived. I mean, she just had this gorgeous deep alto voice, and I'm not even close, but I'm going to borrow their song and we're going to tweak it with some crochet lyrics. Okay, so here we go. Something strange is coming over me. There's crochet in almost everything I see. A design has come to mind, and the yarn I must find. Can there be a new coupon on my phone? I'm on the top of the yarn shelf looking down at the craft store, and the only skeins of yarn that I can find. The dye lots don't match, and there's no more in the back. This love's put me on the top of the shelf. So I have to find another store, and I'm praying to the Lord that they'll have more. This out can't wait. When did this become my fate? Please don't let me wait another moment more. I'm on the top of the yarn shelf looking down at the craft store, and the only skeins of yarn that I can find. The dye lots don't match, and there's no more in the back. This love's put me on the top of the shelf. I hope y'all enjoyed that one. Mistakes and all, you know I gotta throw at least something in there to rip out, right? Oh my goodness. I just haven't picked this up. If I can, let me put it back here so it doesn't go crashing down. Just haven't picked that up in many weeks, and I need to get my fingers all back and calloused again, so that I can be ready to go for you guys at CGOA. All right, well, let me see what else we got here. I honestly don't have a ton of stuff for you guys today, but I did want to go ahead and tell you, before I get back into the comments, I wanted to tell you that I just found out before going live that all 4 of my classes at CGOA are a go. This is the conference in New Orleans. That would be July 20th through the 23rd. I'm going to be hopefully flying out of Washington, going to be flying out of BWI on the 19th of July. So fingers crossed, that none of the flights get canceled. I need to make sure I keep a track on that. Um, but I just wanted to let you know that all the classes are a go. There is enough. There are enough people in each one. Some of the classes, because this is, one of the first. It's actually the second conference that I'm participating with since, post COVID. Um, because of that, a lot of people are understandably hesitant to travel still, and because of that, some of the classes may be canceled. So there are some of the classes that were advertised for some of the other instructors. I think most of them are a go, but there are a few that just didn't meet the minimum. So we have met the minimum, thankfully. There are lots of other seats still available in my classes. So if you are thinking even last minute that you want to do this, please consider it. I did post an informational video last Monday on my channel that will list and show you all, pictures of all the things that we're going to be doing. Please check that out for more details. I also have information and links in the video description below on the classes that I'll be teaching. I'll be teaching 4 of them. But I also wanted to make mention, somebody posted a comment on the video, and I invite people to post comments, and I just wanted to verbally respond to one of them. I responded with a message as well to this person, but they mentioned that you must present proof of vaccination for the conference. That is not the case. I just want to relieve you of that worry right now. That was a mandate by the city of New Orleans, but that has since expired on May 22nd. According to their local government where this is going to be held, that is not a requirement anymore. So if you see that comment, please read my reply as well to this person, okay? And you do want to, whenever you're traveling anywhere, whether it's to this conference or anywhere, you do need to keep an eye out for the guidelines, because in some cities it's constantly changing. In some cities it just doesn't matter as much, but always make sure that you have your mask handy, and something that I need to do more of, because I've been so used to not worrying about it, because I'm just not that that close to people who are outside my family, physically, where it's a problem. But anyway, just to let you know that it is a go. You do not have to present proof of anything at this point in time, and I really don't expect that to change. But if it does, it's not my fault. It's not CGOA. It's the city of New Orleans. So something just to keep in mind. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure I was really, really, really clear about that. And the other newsy thing. Also, I just wanted to put another plug in for Professional Development Day. If any of you guys out there are really interested in taking your craft of crocheting to a different level, where you want to start a small business, or you want to maybe grow your Etsy page, or you want to start a YouTube channel, or you just want to take it to the next level, definitely sign up for Professional Development Day at Crochet at CGOA at the conference. Trust me on this, it's worth the money. There is a fee for the day, but I think it's well worth your time to invest and to get to know some of the people who are in the industry who can really, really be helpful to you. I'm going to be teaching 2 portions of that. I'm going to be teaching the last portion of the general session on photography for crochet, and that's going to be aimed more, I hesitate to say crochet for dummies, but it's going to be very basic. It's not going to be high level. It's basically, what can you do with what you already have without investing an arm and a leg in equipment, which with photography and things like this, you can get in deep financially very quickly. but if you don't know the basics, you're still not going to get good pictures. So things that I'm going to talk about are going to be very basic, but the kind of things that I've learned over the years, and from my film junkie kids who actually have college degrees. I mean, they've taught me some things too that kind of helped me up my game a little bit. But I'll be sharing some of those things, what you can do even just with your using your cell phone. Um, Little tips and tricks that you can do to just take it to the next level without spending another dime on equipment. Um, and I'll also be teaching a breakout session called So You Want to Start a YouTube Channel. And I'll be going over, again, it's going to be like YouTube Lite, and just what you have to think about. What's the next step, basically. I'm not going to be, super techy and how to edit video and all of that. I mean, those are all things you get to learn on your own. And could spend weeks and weeks learning that, or years in my case. Um, but I think what I have to offer there might be kind of fun and helpful if that's something you're interested in doing. Okay, probably talked way too much about that. The other conference, which is starting to fill up, yay guys, is the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. This is going to be at the Doubletree Hilton in Green Tree, Pennsylvania, which is just outside of Pittsburgh proper. And that's August 25th through the 27th. Registration is now open. I'll be teaching 3 classes there. And these are all 3-hour classes. I love crochet cables, fun crochet fabric for beginners. This is for beginners who already know the basic stitches, but you're ready to learn a little bit more. And big and bold cables. So please check that out. I've not been to that conference ever, so I'm really looking forward to it. I've already met the lady who is running the show there. I met her out in Colorado, and she's a really delightful Indy Dyer, who's going to be running the festival. So really, really excited about that. Well, let me get back to saying hello to some of you guys here. All right, we have Lucy's Crochet Spot with us. It's good to see you. I think I mentioned that already. And I did say Cameron, so great to see you. And Kelly Hart. And I'm sorry to hear that you're having family troubles there, Kelly, but I'm glad that you got to meet your biological mom. That must have been very special. And Laura Shelton, good to have you here from North Carolina. We just drove through your neighborhood, well, your area, your state yesterday on I-95. I don't know how close you are to 95 because I know North Carolina is wide. Anyway, we have Janie. She says it's Canada Day for us. Hello from Ottawa. Hey, Janie. Well, happy Canada Day. I saw that on another friend of mine from Canada. And I got to see your capital. I got to see Ottawa back in 1989, celebrating my very first anniversary with my husband. We drove up to Ottawa and to Montreal, I believe. Drove around a bit. We were living in outside of Boston in Andover, if I said that right with the right accent, Andover, Massachusetts. So yeah, that was a very fond memory. I got to meet one of your Canadian mounted police officers and his beautiful horse. Very, very good memory. We have Red Hook. Hey, Red Hook, so good to have you in the chat and wishing us all a wonderful 4th of July weekend. Absolutely. We have Suzanne from Western New York. Says a cheery hello from Western New York. And Dawn from Illinois. She says, thank you for teaching me stitches I thought I would never be able to do. Oh, my pleasure, Dawn. That's what I love to do. I feel like it's my mission in life to demystify things that look hard, because as you know, they're not really hard. I mean, it does have a learning curve, absolutely. Doesn't have to be hard, but it is something to learn. But yeah, and I'm so excited, guys. I have to show you something. I am on ball number 5 of my worsted up. Was it worsted? Uptown Worsted by Universal Yarn. I'm working with this. This is a number 4, or a worsted weight, obviously, with the name there. I've shown this to you before. This is their anti-pilling acrylic, 100% acrylic, 3.5 ounce balls, 180 yards, pretty standard. And I will say that the next throw that comes out, this is for the fall. This is what I am using. And don't know exactly how many I will need, but no more than 23. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep it to 20, but I'm going to let the design, uh, it's one of these things where I'm not even trying to keep the amount of yarn low or anything, but I think it's going to take close to 23, but I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to let you all know that, because those of you who want to order their yarn and be ready to go will want to know this. But this is not going to come out until probably, I'm going to say September, which we're July. That's right down the pike. But this will be probably the feature fall project. And that's all I'm going to say about it. But I am really enjoying the yarn, and I'm enjoying the project. And just to let you know, I had to do about 2.5 balls of ripping out in the design process. So you guys are not the only ones that get to rip stuff out. I get more than my fair share of that as a designer, but I had to rip out a significant portion of it because I thought this is just not working. But I've hit on something that works, and I'm really excited about it. I should have known, but you always have to say, well, maybe if I do this, it'll work. And it didn't work. But anyway, yeah, thank you, Jane. She says, I'm so glad that I'm back safely and feeling better. Yes, back is about 85%. So still waiting for the back to come back 100%. I don't know that it ever will. I probably need to do this horrible thing called exercise and stretch, which I need to start doing more consistently. Actually, I need to just start doing it at all. But anyway, you know what I mean. I'd rather sit with my hook or work on stuff. I actually just love working so much that it's hard for me to get up and do other things. So, we have Margaret from the UK, and yeah, and Freaky Geeks talking says sometimes change is not good, more so when it starts driving. I'm not sure what that conversation's about, but yeah, sometimes change is not good. I agree with you on that. We have Emily. Is it Emily from France? Wow. Well, bonjour. That reminds me, I've been watching this lady. Her name is Marie, and I cannot say her name. It's so beautiful the way she says it in French. She's one of these fashion over 50 kind of channels, and I love just listening to her talk. But I find that I might be part French because when I see her design styles and the way she talks about styling her clothes, it's like we agree on so much. It's like, do you know if I'm French? Nah, I'm not that elegant. But anyway, that just reminded me of her. She just has a great channel. I just love just listening to her talk. She's just so much fun, and she's our age, and she has her 50 and up opinions already set in stone, and I know you guys can relate to that. I have mine. Things are set in stone. We can try to persuade me otherwise, but it's like if you want to, that's fine. But if it's things that are set in stone in my mind and heart, not going anywhere. And she has fashion ideas that are pretty set in stone, but I kind of like a lot of what she has to say. Anyway, I'll have to find out I'll just have to get the link and link. I'll try to link her channel in my video description. Once I add a video description, because there's nothing there now because I had to go live again because we had a glitch this morning. But the video description and all that stuff will be added in once I go off, and it'll be there. I promise. I'll add it in, and I'll put her channel in there. And if I forget, somebody just tell me put that channel down there. It's not a collab. It's just somebody I like to follow. Don't know that much about her except that I like her style. Um, let's see. We have Sandra. She says, I'm from the UK and don't get to watch the live cooking for family, but I'll listen and hopefully comment when I can. Well, thank you, Sandra. I so appreciate your support. And Leon, my friend from the Isle of Wight, yes, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your post on the Facebook page. Maybe that'll encourage Facebook to spread those posts around. But anyway, thank you, Wanda. Thanks for being here. She says she loves Karen Carpenter. Yeah, I really miss her. It's just such a sad story what happened to her. We won't get into that, but I just loved her voice. I just loved, I love the fact that she was a drummer. She was an instrumentalist and didn't even consider herself a singer until her brother, I think, just encouraged her to sing more. And I just got a bunch of comments loading here. And I really hope I really hope we don't have any trolls in here because I don't have my moderator helping me today. But everybody be nice, okay? Just be good. And hopefully everything will be all right for today. All right, let me find out where I am. Okay, so Freaky Geek says, today Canada is 155. How old is the States? Well, we turned 200 in 1976, so, let's see, 86, 96? Somebody out there do the math. At least 240 years, so I'm not in the mind frame to do math, but we're older than you guys, just by a bit, not by much. Although you realize people from Europe watching us will be laughing at us because probably the newest stuff they have in their country is probably twice as old as our countries combined. That's the way it was when I remember going to, for example, going to Ireland. I mean, they have things that went back 6,000 years BC, before Christ. So I mean, we're practically infants in diapers as countries compared to that. Freaky Geek. Oh, thank you, Camper14. I appreciate your encouragement on the song. And I like the little dancers here. That's cute. And Sandra, thank you so much. And Ann Owens is in the chat from Greenwood, Indiana. Yes, thank you for your well wishes there. And Laura Shelton, hey, and Wanda Gordon. I see Elizabeth. Thank you for your. Okay, I see it's clapping. Thank you. I need to up the stakes on my glasses here. Thank you for doing the math, Donna. 246 years old. Yeah, so we're a little bit older than you, your country, Freaky Geek, but not by a lot. Not by a lot. Thank you, Michelle and Jacqueline. You guys are so kind. Thanks for all your encouragement. And Red Hooked. And yeah, Kathleen says her sister lived in Greenwood, Indiana for several years. Wow. And Stephanie White, thank you. Thank you so much. And oh wow, Love to Craft said the 23rd is hubby's birthday. Well, yay. We've got an anniversary coming up. My husband and I do, July 16th. So if I'm not here in a couple weeks, you'll know why. It'll be number, do the math, it'll be 34 years for us. I don't feel like I feel like that number's too big. It's like 34 years. I feel like we just got married a few weeks ago, but then that would be hard to explain to 5 adult children. Yeah, it's been 34 years, but it just doesn't feel like it, it just seems to, I guess if time flies when you're having fun and we've had a lot of stuff, a lot of fun, a lot of trials, a lot of blessings over the years. We have Kathleen from Newton, Kansas. Wow. And Freaky Geek says, Hannah's not driving all 3, is she? Come on, Freaky Geek. Yeah, she is talented and she's sweet and she is smart, but she ain't that smart. Um, she's driving our Highlander that just passed 200,000 miles not long ago. So yeah, so hopefully the car will hold together. We figure it has another at least 50,000 in it before we have to look at doing anything. But yeah, she's driving our car because my husband's gonna have to have a ride back from Georgia when he comes back here on the 4th, because he's driving that 16-foot Penske moving truck, which only had 4,000 miles on it when we picked it up. It was for the most part a brand new truck, 4,000 miles, and he says that this 16-foot truck is more comfortable to drive than our old 15 passenger van. We used to have a Ford F350, yeah, F350, and great vehicle to have. I can get nostalgic talking about that vehicle. That's what I taught all 5 of my kids, and three of them being boys, taught them to drive the 15 passenger. Yeah, in real traffic around Washington D.C. Hey, how else do you teach your kids to drive anywhere? Which was actually good practice because where they're living now, it's intense. So anyway, um, oh, thank you, Diane. She says, happy anniversary to me. Yay, thank you. She says, I found your channel a year ago when I was recovering from a broken arm. Your designs helped my PT, physical therapy, and I'm hooked. God bless. Thank you so much, Diane. That just really blesses me. That's fantastic. Um, I'm glad your arm is better. You probably are stronger now because I know whenever bones heal after a break, they can, with the scar tissue, they actually are stronger. I hope that is the case. Oh wow, Freaky Geek says, had no internet for a month, but I'm back. Wow. Wow. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the grid, Freaky Geek. That must have been a little, I don't know, it might have been a nice break for a while, you know? Um, and she says, what a great find. And some puns are fantastic. Yes, to Diane. Um, oh, Kathleen, we are so glad you just found us. I'm so glad that you can join us here. The community, the people that comment on the live chat are some of the best people you're going to find on the internet, I promise you. And Michelle says, I'll be flying into Pittsburgh on the 25th of August and staying overnight before heading to Points North. I can't take a class, but hope we can meet for a minute during the day. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, please. You can always private message me on Facebook if you're on Facebook, or actually better yet, email me bonniebay@me.com, and we can figure out something, okay, somehow to communicate. Don't know my absolute schedule yet, but if you're going to be um, at the conference at all, we can meet up somewhere, okay? And if something works out, I might even be able to publish something on social media, just, in case there were other people in the area that we could, maybe, I don't know, go get a Diet Pepsi or Coke Zero or something. I'm not a coffee drinker, but we can go get a drink or do something, of that nature. Let's see. I so wish I drank coffee, guys, but I just don't. So it's usually zero diet, zero type sodas are my go-to treat. That's about as serious as I get on drinking. Again, personal preference. We have Knit, Pearl, and Squirrel with Granny D. That is a great name for a channel. And from Faith, North Carolina. How cool. Well, we're practically neighbors here. We're just down here in the South Carolina. Yeah, so great that you can join us. And we have Bonnie L in the chat from Niagara Falls. You didn't miss a lot, Bonnie. You probably missed our little goof-off at the beginning, but we're back. You have to take a look at that. It was crazy. I'm gonna have to just delete that one from the site once I get going. Which reminds me, let me do one more thing here. Duh. And Let's do that. All right. Let's see. Let me go back. Are we back? Okay. Okay, good. If I miss your comments, guys, I am just so sorry. I really, 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 really. Let me go ahead and do this. Coming up from the bottom here. Yeah, knit, purl, and squirrel set with Granny D says, I remember being a teen celebrating the USA's bicentennial. So much fun. Our wee town is very patriotic and does it up big for the 4th of July. Yeah, I remember. Um, yeah, it was funny is everything in the stores was red, white, and blue. I was a teenager in, where was I, in junior high? Yeah, that was like my first year of junior high school. Bleh. And I remember crocheting a, don't laugh, this is never going to be modeled by me, but I think I've showed it to you guys in past lives. I crocheted a red, white, and blue granny square, wait for it, bikini. Although the bikini I made was, the bottom part looked more like briefs. I mean, they were big. It wasn't like the bikinis that you see now that are nothing. I mean, this was something. This was actually a large bikini. And I made a cover up to go with it. Made it all out of acrylic yarn. I think the yarn I was using was Windtuck. That was before the days of Red Heart yarn. It was Windtuck yarn, in case some of you oldie but goldies like me remember that. And yeah, that's when back in the days where anything I could get my hands on pattern wise, I would read and make it. Even if I didn't like the design, I would still make it because I liked making things and always felt like I had to read another pattern. I was not into writing my own. So it wasn't until many, many, many years later that I realized I can't find the patterns that I want, and then started writing my own. So that's how I kind of fell into this about 35 years after that. But yeah, 1976, everything was red, white, and blue. I remember my mom got a bunch of these Vote 76 towels, red, white, and blue. And those were in our Florida house until I moved my mom up to Maryland after my dad had passed away back in 2004. And I still am finding them in her stuff. As I've gone through her stuff since she's passed away. So yeah, those 1976 towels will not go away. They're everywhere. But yeah, that was a sweet time. A lot of fun stuff going on there. Yeah, I love to craft. I'm sorry we don't have the moderators. I will tell Hannah you said that because she's just such a gem and such a blessing to me. And I will tell her that she was sorely missed. Um, and Leanne is here. She says it's very heavy, but I love it. Okay, I'm missing something. Oh, the Celtic. Okay, Celtic cable throw in varsity green. Okay, Sue Lee says she just finished the Celtic cable throw in varsity green as a gift. Posted pictures and have had over 2,700 positive reactions. Wow. Thank you, Sue. Gosh, that's amazing. I would love to see that picture. Please send it to me if you can. BonnieBay@me.com. I'll put the email in the bottom here in the chat. I would say look at the video description. It will be there later. It's just not there now because we had to restart fresh. So we have Yarn Arm She's in a chat. Wow. And Freaky Geek says, very, very strange not seeing Hannah in the chat trying to answer questions as best she can. Yeah, Hannah is not a crocheter, but she just likes to be helpful. Just wants to make sure everybody feels welcome. And I know I'm missing your comments left and right here, guys, but I'm so sorry. Let me try to work backwards. Oh, we have a Becky in the chat. Becky Weaver. Oh, thank you for your sweet comment. I love your name, by the way. I have a daughter named Becky with a Y. Actually, it's Rebecca on formal papers, but we always call her Becky. Rebecca is just for the doctor's office, if you know what I mean. Doctors and the dentist call her Rebecca. Everybody else calls her Becky. She's named after my best friend from childhood, named in her memory. Oh wow, Sheila says, thank you for making infusion a little bearable. Oh Sheila, I'm so sorry you're having to go through that. I hope things go well. I'm guessing that's kind of like, is that like dialysis? It sounds it sounds difficult. I am so sorry you're going through that. I've seen what that looks like up close with my mom years ago, and it was not pleasant. I had no clue as how life threatening these kinds of things can be. Um, all right. Okay, if I miss your comments, guys, again, I apologize. I'm looking and seeing new things. I kind of restarted something over here, and things are all a jumble from what it was. But we have JoJo. She says, greatest job on earth working with yarn. Yes, ma'am, it is. It is. I just feel so blessed. And I was thinking the other day, I'm not sure why I was thinking of this, but remembering back when I had to substitute teach in the public schools, and I'll just say thank you guys that I don't have to do that. I did it for a season. It had its moments that were good. It had its moments that were awful. But I'm just really thankful that I don't have to do that anymore. I considered, we're doing teaching jobs, full time. Um, but I couldn't actually. I was still taking care of my mom at the time, and yeah, I just, it's much better for my family that I can work from home, and I can do what I love, and this is, in some ways, it doesn't feel like work at all to me, except when I have to do the writing. I will say that the writing and the editing are tedious, so I try to. It's just, and I love doing that too, because that's probably the most important part. But getting on to the next project gets me through that, and I think you know what I mean. It's like studying, learning about new things is wonderful, but then you have to sit down and write the report and get everything right. um, but I'm just really glad that I have some great people on my team, like my daughter Hannah, my daughter Becky is helping me more. She's changed her job situation now, so she's doing more freelance work, and she's going to be available to do more freelance editing for me. So I'm really happy about that. Um, and my daughter-in-law Christy has done some modeling for you guys and for me for a new project that I can't tell you about it yet, but I'm hoping it comes out this fall. And that's all I'm gonna say. It's I can't say any more just yet because I want to make sure that I'm further down the pike on the work towards it. But got lots of good people on our team here as we grow as a. Oh, and my sister Brenda, um, she is the one who works very hard to edit the closed captions that we're now adding to our channel. And we're adding them in 7 different languages. Well, English plus 6 other languages. There are hundreds of languages we could add, but we're just keeping it narrowed down uh, to the people who actually watch the channel. I mean, we can't do every language because that would just cost us a lot. We use a specialty service, so we have to pay for each translation. Um, but I'm really, really, really happy that my sister is also on our Bonnie Bay Crochet team now, because when I started out doing this, I was spending, I'm not kidding you, like 2 days or between 4 and 12 hours in a work week, just editing closed captions, and I didn't have the time to venture into new designs as long as I'm editing my own stuff. So my sister was able to come on board, and so I'm now basically hired her to do my editing on that as well, so that I can try to focus more on the video editing and designing new stuff, and just trying to keep that coming for you guys, and for me too, just to keep things fresh as much as I can. All right. Well, again, I apologize if I missed anybody. Let me just see, look through here, in case I see any names that don't look familiar. Okay. Hey Dawn, it's good to see you in the chat. She said there's a sale on yarn on that yarn at Lovecrafts right now. Seriously. Well, that's great. And once I go off, there will be video description links for Lovecrafts, for the Universal Yarn. Yeah. Also, Lovecrafts. I think they're having a really big sale right now, on their paint box yarn. So if you don't like this yarn, or if you want to try other types of yarn, really any number 4 worsted weight is going to work for the throw. It's just, it's a throw. So pick the yarn that you trust and love the most. And if you're in a place where you can't get the yarns that I recommend, just use your favorite worsted or Aran weight yarn in whatever, where that is available in your country. There's no need to spend all the extra on postage to get 100% acrylic yarn that was probably made in the same place anyway, with a different label. But the paint box yarn is also a really good substitute for what I'm going to be doing. It's very, very similar. Again, the jury is still out on the knot count on this, but so far I have not run into any knots. But I've only been through maybe 6 balls of this so far. But still, 6 balls, knot free, as in KNOT, knot free. That means it's, you know what I mean. There are no, you know what I'm talking about. I'm getting confused. So anyway, thank you for letting us know that, Dawn. And we have Yarn Arm She in the chat. Hey, and let me just see if there's anybody that I am leaving out. Let's see. I'm just searching here. This is where I need Hannah. She makes everybody feel so welcome. Elizabeth is in the chat. Hey, Elizabeth. And let's see. Crochet Done My Way with Wanda. Hey, Wanda. I don't know how you do it out there, my friend. She said, leaving Sterling, Virginia at the moment. Wanda's our truck driver extraordinaire that kept us all alive during the pandemic with her supplying everything we needed. This sweet little lady drives an 18-wheeler coast to coast. And believe me, after driving for 9+ hours yesterday, and that was just driving a little sedan. I mean, driving is a lot of work. I cannot imagine, having to tow what she tows, towing that trailer every day. I just respect thee, Wanda. I just respect thee, and all you people out there who are truck drivers doing that. That is such a high degree of responsibility you've got out there driving those huge things, and I know it's a lot of work. It's just so much work. And thank you, Wanda. I hope we get to meet up again sometime. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's any. Oh, Lynn's in the chat. Hey, Lynn Guider, so good to see you, my Chicago friend. She's working on a throw. Yay for Lynn. All right. And I just got a bunch. Oh my goodness, there's somebody in the chat called Yarn Barf. Oh, that's an interesting name. And for those of you who don't know what that is, if you've ever pulled out the middle of a skein of yarn and it's all a mess and you have to, anyway, that's what people sometimes call that. And Yarn Barf, I feel funny saying that, just drove a truck for 22 years. It tore up my back so badly that I'm disabled now. I totally get that. Having driven all day, I was getting into the car yesterday after loading with a bad back, and my back was, I was careful, but I totally get that. That's one reason why I really wanted to drive a different car. Whenever I drive my Miata, it is such a support. It sounds weird. It's a smaller car. It's low to the ground. It has the best driver's seat I've ever sat in, and it is incredibly supportive, and because you're leaning back more, you don't get the jarring on the lumbar vertebrae. The Highlander is a very comfortable car, but with my back, even that, it bothers it a bit. Driving a truck Yarn Barf is saying. Uh, I can see that tearing up your back immediately, and probably doing a number on your kidneys as well. I mean, that would be tough. Um, we have D's Creative Hands Crochet says, I also drove, just retired 5 years ago. Wow. You guys are my heroes. I mean, just this, it's such a service. I think a lot of people never realize that, just how much we need you guys driving those trucks. I mean, thank you so much for that. It's the little, it's the little things that people just see and don't pay much attention to, that when you don't, when it's not there, you miss it terribly. Um, all right, let me see if I missed anybody else here. We have Sheila, and let's see. All right. Oh, thank you, D's Creative Hand says, yeah, thumbs up. If you guys get a chance to do thumbs up, that would be great. Um, it would be great to know that people like this, and it helps it to go a little bit further. Oh wow! And Sheila, getting back to the infusion, says chemo for metastasized cervical cancer. Oh, God bless you, Sheila. I think you may have mentioned that before, but it just slipped my mind. God bless you. I will write your name down to pray for you. That has got to be difficult. Um, I can tell you a couple stories of friends that have had to deal with that, but I will pass on that for now. Oh wow, we have Cameron. Cammy says she volunteers at a local Goodwill store. I don't know if it's a he or she. I'm sorry, but but yeah, that's great. I love the Goodwill store. The Goodwill store, Salvation Army store, both of those. I've gotten some amazing finds at them. Actually, the table, that my craft table at home that sits in my studio, that came from a Goodwill store. $49. I love it. Um, Kelly Hart says she tried to sell her crochet patterns on Poshmark and it didn't work out for me. Sorry about that, Kelly. I don't know much about all those different sites like that myself, but yeah, that's a tough go sometimes. And Elizabeth says my grandma knitted and had to make a stop at Smiley's for her special yarn, but I don't remember what it was. She was always making baby gifts. Very talented. I miss her. Oh wow. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for your encouragement on my crazy song there. Kathleen says she plays a banjo. Well, Kathleen, if you ever get to these conferences, bring your banjo and we'll have to get a little band started or something. Uh, ah, and Yarn Barf is talking about my mom loved the Sayell yarns, Sayelle, if I'm saying that right. Probably not. Wow, very cool. And Michelle remembers the days of Windtuck. Yeah, yeah, and that other name, I do remember seeing that. Just I think I inherited a few skeins which are still in my stash. Yeah, that's all they had at the GC Murphy store where I got my yarn as a kid. So if they didn't have it there, didn't get it. Um, oh well, I'm going backwards here. Yarn Barf is saying in 1986, myself and 49 other banjo pickers and 50 fiddle players performed at the Meadowlands Arena in New Jersey. It was televised all over the world. Glorious 3-day celebration. Wow. Well, Yarn Barf, I have to tell you my one and only banjo joke. Um, so the joke is like this. How long does it take a banjo player to tune a banjo? And the answer is nobody knows. It's never been done. Okay, I'm sorry. That was bad. I used to throw that one out at my friend from high school, but he was really excellent. I'm just teasing you guys. That is just really cool. It's a very unique instrument for sure. Used to love to hear that being played on the old Hee Haw show. Gosh, aging myself here. Um, and we have Anita in the chat from Micronesia. I can't even pronounce that. I'll just stick with Micronesia. Wow. Well, thank you, Anita, for joining us. I'm glad I'm going back trying to find people that I haven't names I haven't seen yet. And is it Kaylin? Says I was only 2 in 1976, but I remember falling in the toilet and crying because I got my farm dress wet. Oh my goodness. Yeah, 1976. Yeah, I remember that. Junior high school, baby. Ugh. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Ugh, you know what I mean? And we didn't have middle school, we had junior high. 7, 8, and 9. All right, and well, let me go ahead. I could look at more, but looking at the time, and I have something that I want to read to you. I mean, always try to have something kind of encouraging. And this is something that I may have read a couple years ago, but I just thought I'd pull it out and read it again because I wanted to be reminded of this. Um, with all the negativity out there, it's kind of good to have something positive to think about. And the world, no, the world is not as bad as everybody sees. Just turn the news off if you're feeling that way. Just turn the news off and walk away um, from that box called a television set. But in light of all the summer rainstorms and all, I just thought I'd read a little essay written by a pastor that I admire. His name is John Piper, and he wrote an essay on rain. And I want to read this, but it just reminded me this past weekend I was at home on my front porch watching my flowers grow. And thank you guys too for all the suggestions. I hope I'm not trying to rebuff any of them. I'm sorry if it feels that way. I have tried so much on growing my plants and my impatiens, which grow only in shade, because my house faces north, and we have a really nice porch. We had a porch. We wanted a porch on the house when it was under construction because my mom from Florida liked to sit out on the porch, and I like to sit out on the porch too. One of my favorite things to do is to watch thunderstorms come. And I got to see that this past week and sat out on the porch, and it was nice and clear. But I noticed on my cell phone that there was a thunderhead, yeah, rain approaching. And so I decided to just sit outside and read. This was a Sunday afternoon, actually. After I'd had my nap and everything, and it was just delightful just to sit out there. It was hot when it started, and then how the wind starts to come, and then eventually the sky darkens, and then the rain. The drill. But it's such a beautiful thing, and as long as you're not not a tornado obviously coming your way or something like that, but just really enjoyed that. So I'm going to read this, and I'll just read what John Piper wrote, and I will also try to find the link to this and put it in the video description, in case you want to take a closer look at it. It is a bit lengthy, so just stick with me a minute. And he writes, quotes Job chapter 5 verses 8 through 10, which says, "But as for me, I would seek God, and I would place my cause before God, who does great and unsearchable things, wonders without number. He gives rain on the earth and sends water on the fields." If you said to someone, "My God does great and unsearchable things, he does wonders without number," they would respond, "Really? Like what?" Would you say, "Rain?" When I read these verses recently, I felt like I did when I heard the lyrics to a Sonny and Cher song in 1969. "I'd live for you. I'd die for you. I'd even climb the mountain high for you." Even? I would die for you? I would even climb a high mountain for you? The song was good for a joke, or a good illustration of bad poetry, not much else. But Job is not joking. God does great and unsearchable things, wonders without number. He gives rain on the earth. In Job's mind, rain really is one of the great unsearchable wonders that God does. So when I read this, when I read this a few weeks ago, I resolved not to treat it as a meaningless pop musical lyrics. I decided to have a conversation with myself. Is rain a great and unsearchable wonder wrought by God? Picture yourself as a farmer in the Near East, far from any lake or stream. A few wells keep the family and animals supplied with water. But if the crops are to grow and the family is to be fed from month to month, water has to come on the fields from another source. From where? Well, the sky. The sky? Water will come out of the clear blue sky? Well, not exactly. Water will have to be carried. Will have to be carried in the sky from the Mediterranean Sea over several hundred miles and then be poured out from the sky unto the fields. Carried? How much does it weigh? Well, if 1 inch of rain falls on 1 square mile of farmland during that night, that would be 27,876,400 cubic feet of water, which is 206,300,160 gallons, which is 1,650,501,280 pounds of water. That's heavy. So how does it get up in the sky and stay up there if it's so heavy? Well, it gets up there by evaporation. Really? That's a nice word. What's it mean? It means that the water sort of stops being water for a while so it can go up and not down. I see. Then how does it get down? Well, condensation happens. What's that? The water starts becoming water again by gathering around little dust particles between 0.00001 and 0.0001 centimeters wide. That's small. What about the salt? Salt? Oh yes, the Mediterranean Sea is salt water. That would kill the crops. What about the salt? Well, the salt has to be taken out. Oh, so the sky picks up 1 billion pounds of water from the sea and takes out the salt and then carries it for 300 miles and then dumps it on the farm? Well, it doesn't dump it. If it dumped 1 billion pounds of water on the farm, the wheat would be crushed. So the sky dribbles 1 billion pounds water down in little drops. And they have to be big enough to fall for 1 mile, so without evaporating, and small enough to keep from crushing the wheat stalks. How do all these microscopic specks of water that weigh 1 billion pounds get heavy enough to fall, if that's the way to ask the question? Well, it's called coalescence. What's that? It means the specks of water start bumping into each other and join up and get bigger. And when they are big enough, they fall. Just like that? Well, not exactly. Because they would just bounce off of each other instead of joining up if there were no electric field present. What? Never mind. Just take my word for it. I think instead, I will just take Job's word for it. I still don't see why drops ever get to the ground. Because if they start falling as soon as they are heavier than air, they would be too small not to evaporate on the way down. But if they wait to come down, what holds them up until they are big enough not to evaporate? Yes, I'm sure there is a name for that too. But I'm satisfied now. By any name. This is a great and unsearchable thing that God has done. I think I should be thankful. Lots more thankful than I am. And then Pastor John says, grateful to God for the wonder of rain. So I hope, I just get so affected every time I read that. But and that's just rain. There are billions more blessings that we have. So let's concentrate on that this week, shall we? Not all the negativity. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. God bless.